My name is Danilevics. I'm the host of Happenings Here and Now on the Wake Up America Media Network. I'm just going to share some stuff about myself. I'm born and raised in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I attended Brophy College Preparatory. I graduated 2010, and I went to Columbia University, and I'm on a year leave, and I'm going to finish next year. I'm working on a startup called Exchange, and I'm also working part-time, and I'm just a millennial like you. So just to talk more about myself, I was, like I said, born and raised here in Scottsdale, Arizona, raised in the desert, grew up chasing coyotes, playing in tree forts, just simple stuff. Technology has always been something I've been interested in. I took apart radios as a kid. I would take apart the RC cars, and I always wanted to be more than just an athlete. I was a track athlete in high school and for my first year at Columbia. So I wanted to make sure I was well-rounded. I surrounded myself with books on my spare time, National Geographics, all kinds of novels, fiction. And that helped me remember that when I was training, there's more to life than just competing. There's a artistic, sort of spiritual side to life that I thought most athletes didn't grasp. And that led me to immersing myself in education and all sorts of other pursuits. I've always thought myself as a Renaissance man, where I would pursue different things all the time. New subjects, new interest fields with space, art, science, English, different languages, all sorts of other topics. I just wanted to be as well-rounded as I could be. Hanging out with people from all over the world, seeing things that my peers didn't choose to pursue or didn't have the opportunities to pursue. Being born and raised in Scottsdale, Arizona, you kind of get secluded in this desert mindset, and that was something I wanted to escape, so to say, when I chose to go to Columbia, and that's also what led me to philosophy as a major, because I couldn't just pinpoint one thing that I wanted to study and I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I wanted to be open. I wanted to know as much as I could. Basically, I had this love for knowledge that I couldn't quench ever. I had to keep pursuing new things, and that's something I've kind of found throughout my whole life as a theme, and I've continued to pursue it now. And that's partially why I wanted to be a host for Happenings Here and Now. I wanted to share the knowledge that I've been able to come across with people that haven't maybe had that opportunity. I want people to know the complexities, the advancements, all the new thoughts that are happening and occurring in this world. And I think it's important for the millennial generation, being that we're the first generation to be fully engaged in the internet and just spending all of our time, whether it's learning or entertainment or just communicating with people from all around the world or country or nation or wherever. For the first time, we've had this ability to communicate in ways that we have never had before, and that's also accompanied education and just experience of all sorts of different lifestyles, thoughts, beliefs, and fields of interest. And then basically from there, I just want to show people all these things that I've been able to see while I've been addicted to my phone and Twitter, constantly looking up new articles all the time, or just pursuing walking around the city, meeting new people. And those are opportunities that I don't think a lot of people have had, and I want to share that knowledge with them, because I think it's something important for our generation to know that everyone is human on this planet and that we all have our different experiences, and that we have to move past this nationalistic idea that if you're from the United States, you're the best country in the world and no one else is like you. I think going to Columbia and seeing the smartest minds from around the world has shown me that America has much to learn from the rest of the world, just like we have much to bring to the other parts of the world. I found that people from other countries were sometimes more human than Americans in their sense of remembering where they've come from. And I think that's something we have to get back in touch with and lose our consumer society attitude. Not to say America isn't great. I think America is the definition of freedom and technological advancement and all sorts of other things. But we have to remember that we are the evolution of society and that we have to continue being the beacon for the rest of the world, not choosing how the rest of the world will live, being the light shining to the rest of the world. And that's something I think Happenings Here and Now will help to do for the millennial generation is bring about awareness of all sorts of topics. You know, they force us down these tracks when we're in college, and you're supposed to only think about those things. Well, for me, I dabbled in over 15 majors. And to be honest, my GPA didn't do too well because of that, being at such a highly advanced school. But I think I've learned so much well-rounded in terms of just everything: cosmology, anthropology, art history, music history. You got English, I had sociology, philosophy, mathematics, economics, physics. I could keep going on. I'm sure there's a couple more that I forgot. But having that knowledge has allowed me to move through life in such a unique way that it's hurt in the beginning because I haven't really known which major to choose or which career or profession. But I think in the long run, it's given me a perspective that not too many have been able to have because they were forced into one career path. For instance, the book The Clandestine Prophecy is something I think that most people need to read because it reminds us that there are principles that we don't understand, and it doesn't just try to ascribe a theory that's thousands of years old. It tackles it in a new spiritual way that individuals can relate to. They can understand that there's coincidences that occur on a daily basis that are just inexplicable, but they relate, and you can see looking back that certain things were meant to happen. And the way things are is, you know, it's been described as, are things determined or are they just random? And I think there's some sense of determinism in the universe, but you have to be able to look at it and open it and be willing to see that it's going to be there and it's going to help us. Not as something that it's spooky or religious or, you know, unknown. You have to go with it. And then you have to understand that there's an evolutionary process that goes with it, that life is energy, and it's this great energy that keeps evolving. And all of us are different, but we're all connected by this energy. And I think that's what religion was trying to describe. And I think that's what the millennial generation is being able to put into practical words and doesn't just associate to this mystical religious authority. So